Gina in real estate calling from Washington. Gina, welcome to Stay Paid.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on the show, Gina. I'm super excited to talk to you today. What is your problem that's going on in the business, or what is the kind of, barrier that you need to tackle to grow your business to the next level?
Well, I have several problems. The first one is I have a very niche market. I have a team of 4 agents plus me. We're 5, and we focus on the Latino market in the Seattle area. We're all bilingual. That's part of our value proposition, and we want to grow. And I had been a solo agent for several years, and it's difficult for me to let go of my business and be a leader for my agents.
I hear you 100%. And Cody and I know Steven can really attest to this because you guys just got Steven out of production, the last 3 months, Cody?
Right. Yep.
100%. So we tried to get him out and we scaled up the team. I forget where it went to. It was like 14 agents or something like that. And then we had some top producers leave and Steven had to get back into the business. So we've kind of been on that roller coaster ride. Tell us a little bit about your production, like how many deals or what's your volume been this year for you and your 4 agents?
Well, in the past year, we have sold 26 homes. Most of those homes have been sold by me.
Okay.
We can sold 8 and another my other agents the rest.
Okay. Okay. So 26 homes. What is that volume? Just so I understand, what's kind of your volume range that you're doing with those 26?
Oh, it's about 22 million.
22 million. Nice. Awesome. So you got a solid foundation there for growing your business. Okay. And your question is that you're trying to figure out how to get out of being the rainmaker, essentially? Is that the main question for you?
Happy because of the 22 million, I have sold 12.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about, so we understand your lead flow, because in order to get you out of production, it really comes down to leverage, right? Leverage comes from systems and people. So it seems like you have the people with the 4 agents on the team, but you really lack probably the systems. And part of those systems are probably how you generate leads. Can you tell me where the majority of that 22 million is coming from? Is it referrals? Is it another lead source?
It's from personal referrals, actually. And that's the issue. I think to scale, there's only so much you can do with personal referrals.
Yeah, there is truth to that. It's like referrals will get you so far. It's the best lead source, but you also have to, here's the way I look at it. I should take a step back is all of your business should be what I call is relationship driven business, referral and repeat business. So then it's just about how do I scale my relationships? Because you are getting a certain amount of business from the current database you have, and you need to grow that database. And that's why you add other lead sources, whether it's geo farming or paid advertising. You add these other lead sources, not just because you get a direct response from a Facebook lead that wants to buy. It's truly because you're trying to grow your database that you can then nurture for long periods of time and grow your referral and repeat business essentially in that database. So right now, do you do any other lead sources besides referrals? Any other marketing?
Well, I do have my reminder media account. I said, but it's for my sphere. I send the emails to send the magazines, which everyone loves. But still, it's me. It's an Avanza, and I want the people to trust my agents.
Yeah, exactly. Are your agents doing anything for their sphere?
We have a lot of overlapping sphere, but no, it's usually me.
Okay. Have you made your agents sit down and get their sphere in a database? Okay. Perfect. All right. So you're doing some of the things like where I start is go, okay, number 1 rule is you got to make the agent sit down and actually curate their database together so you can market to that database because that's where the majority of the business is going to come from. But it sounds like to me, you need to add on 1 or 2 other pillars and start with 1 right now. We try to add 2 at the same time. Start with 1 more pillar to see if you can grow the database. And I'll give you just a couple suggestions. And then I'd love to throw it to you, Cody, to talk tactically, because I know you guys are executing on this. One way that you could add is by circle prospecting. And circle prospecting is where you are calling upon a neighborhood, a region that you want to be known, like, and trusted in, that you want to get deals in. and you're calling on that neighborhood usually because something has happened in that neighborhood. Maybe a listing has come on the market and you're trying to call all the other homeowners. You might know this, not sure, but just for the audience that doesn't know, you're calling on the neighborhood based upon an event that's happened, and you're basically asking them, are they interested in selling their home? Have they ever been interested? But you're doing it with a goal and an intent to build your database. Maybe they're interested, maybe they're not, but you're trying to grow that database. Cody, how many deals have you guys done this year from Circle Prospecting?
We've done about, I think, 25
24
deals for Circle Prospecting. So
Yep.
A good amount.
And the reason why I went to Circle Prospecting first, besides going to like geographic farming or going to Facebook ads, is because right now I think there's a ton of pent up demand where there are a lot of sellers sitting on great interest rates that really actually want to sell their home, but they're uneducated. They don't really know what's going on in the market. They're reading headlines. They're like, well, I have a 4% interest rate. Interest rates are at 6.25% right now. Like, I don't know if I should sell or not. And when you call, you're basically finding sellers and you're educating them, and they are interested. They just have never talked about it with anybody. And so I think there's a lot of pent up demand that you can uncover by calling on Circle Prospecting. The second area that I would point you to is what I call is paid advertising. So that would be running ads on Google or running ads through Facebook. That traditionally is going to get you a decent amount of leads. Conversion is only going to be around 3%. And it's a long tail game. So it's 10.8 months usually to nurture one of those leads to conversion. But that's a great way to get your brand out there in the community and actually generate leads. I saw that you had a question. I saw you were going to start to say something, Gina. Do you have a question on any of those two?
Regarding the seafood prospecting, do you recommend that I do it like we do it ourselves? Because we do have an inside sales agent that just started this month.
Okay.
Because for me, like it completely makes sense. And what we do is I'm starting to call people who could self-identify as Latino in my target neighborhoods.
Because you're trying, your ideal target market is Latino within inside these neighborhoods. Okay. So I would recommend both. I would recommend have your ISA do it, but you should do it as well. And you should do it as well so you can master and know what you want the ISA to do. It's really hard to coach and oversee somebody that you have not experienced what they're doing. It makes it very difficult. So I would recommend you actually do that. I also recommend when you're buying the list that you're going to Circle Prospect to see if the data provider can mark speaking. Like I know for us, when we sell data for people for our postcards and stuff like that, we can do it by language. So you can, a lot of times you can find who speaks certain languages, and that can be the start of your Circle Prospecting to that list. Cody, you want to walk through kind of how you guys practically do your Circle Prospecting?
Yeah. So oftentimes we'll either choose like a neighborhood that we want to be in, or we'll also, like for agents specifically, I'll coach it toward listings that they have or open houses that they're going to do. And then Circle Prospecting that neighborhood. My question for you, Gina, real quick. So you have a team of 4, is that right? Okay. And then how many admins do you have? 1. So and it's like a TC.
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
We also
So
have a beautiful.
say it again.
We also have a beautiful assistant out of the Philippines.
Okay, nice. So you have a TC, local, and a virtual assistant.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And then what is your goal in building the team? Like, how many do you have a number you want to get to? I know you said like you'd like to be out of the business, so I'd love to hear that. What's your goal in that?
Yes, I thought it was going to be easier. Actually, it's the first time that I manage people. I've been a seller agent for years. But my goal realistically right now is to get to 6 and have them all get to maybe 10 million a year each, and then build from.
Okay. And what's the goal behind 10 million? Why 10 million each?
Oh, because I think that in this market, in the Seattle area, that's something that's doable. It's what I've been doing consistently and very easily. So I want them to get there.
Okay, yeah, I love that. No, that's awesome. So yeah, Luke's right on point then, because my often my question is like, do you have the admin in place? And being operations, of course, I'm going to bring that up. But yeah, so admin first, right? Support the people that need the support to have the leverage, and then lead sources would be next. So the Circle Prospecting is perfect. and the list, diving down to like a niche that you're doing is great. But yeah, as far as what we do specifically is like we target certain neighborhoods that we want to call through. The biggest thing for agents is that you want to go all in. So like if I'm going to choose this area, I'm doing every open house in this area. I'm door knocking, I'm circle prospecting. It's like an all in one because everything compounds. So one thing will maybe get you some deals. Compounding it all will get you a lot more deals. And then you really have like a flagship there in that neighborhood. So that would be my encouragement. It's just if you're going to do something, you go all in on it.
Where do you guys get the data from, Cody? Can you tell her where you guys get the data for your
We get
circle
it from
prospecting?
Deal Machine is who we use to pull lists through. We've done several different websites, and that by far for us has been the best as far as like just actually like good data and good numbers to call through. But we've also done just doing white pages, doing a neighborhood and pulling that takes a lot more time. So if you have an ISA doing it, I would do the list route, and Deal Machine is by far the best we've had.
And make sure, Gina, that you go through the do not call list. I think Deal Machine will give you a do not call scrub list, but make sure you do that because I don't want you to get caught there. When they call, their ISAs are calling and they're double dialing. So they'll, Cody, call about 200 calls a day, hit about 100 unique people.
Right.
Is what their stats are, and usually set about one appointment a day is what they're seeing.
Targets.
And then you're seeing what, about a 25% conversion rate on those appointments right now from your ISAs?
Right. Yep. Probably like a 25% conversion to like show up.
Yeah, to show up. So that just gives you an idea for them what they're seeing. Cody and their team just hit 200 deals for the year, and we're recording this beginning of September. So they just hit 200 deals a year. And if you think about it, 50% of their deals, Gina, are Sphere. And then you have Circle Prospecting. That's 26 of their deals, right, that they're seeing. So around 10% of their deals are Circle Prospecting. And if you go to like Facebook, it's probably 6% of their deals are Facebook ads. Google is producing another probably 10% of their deals. And so they have a bunch of different lead pillars. I don't want you to start with everything, but I would encourage you, if you have the ISA, get Circle Prospecting going. Then I would move to Facebook ads. If you want, we run Facebook ads for Acre Brothers. We can talk to you about that. We can also show you what we're doing with Google, so you can kind of mimic there. The pain point I see for agents with Facebook ads and Google is you need to be willing to call, because we're seeing an average of like 18 calls in order to convert somebody. And you have an ISA on the team, so you're perfectly kind of positioned for that, to be able to call. But if any agent that's listening to this deciding what they want to do not do Facebook or Google ads if you are not willing to call. You're wasting your money. I just see so many people do it. You'll get the brand impression, which is nice, but you won't get the actual conversion that you want on those leads unless you call. So I would start there. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information. It seems like you're doing extremely well. 22 million. You have 4 agents on the team. You want to get it to 6, each of them doing 10 million. What you really need is lead flow. Lead flow then makes you do what? It makes you build out the operational calendar for your agents. So the next pain point that's going to pop right up is that your agents are not treating the leads that you're paying for to generate well enough. And that's because you got to standardize what your expectations are for an agent. So be already thinking, what are your standards and your calendar that you want an agent to do? So is it 2 hours of prospecting a day? Do they have to call the leads a certain amount of times? Like, that's going to be your next phase in building the team. Is now that you'll generate leads, you got to make sure the leads are treated correctly. That comes down to your agents running their day appropriately. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely. And we already have systems in place. We just need it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to actually say exactly what Luke said. So I'm so glad he brought it up. But because if you want production, your agents are going to have to start having some standards in place. So like calls, like I know we talked about Sphere and like they're in the database. My question would be, how often are they calling them? Are they inviting them to client events if you have them? Are they calling about the Reminder Meeting magazine? Do you have any cadence or system? And it sounds like you might, where the agents have some type of, hey, I have to do this standard to be a part of this team.
You know what? I never called anyone asking about the magazine. I just wait it just had this aha moment. I just waited for them to tell me like I received it. But I
Oh,
never
no, you
asked.
got to call. Yeah, Gina, you got to call. Yeah, I love that. That's a huge takeaway from you. In our system, for any clients that listen to this, because I know we have thousands that listen, is in your system, we also score who's likely to move. So go into your platform and we'll score for you who is likely to list in your database in the next 12 months. So at the very least, call all those people because there are things happening behind the scenes data-wise that could signify a move. Usually it's a life event, death, divorce, tax things like that. So do that. Like my action item really for you is you have a lot of good happening. I would standardize your cadence of outreach and I would move into 1 to 2 other lead pillars. I would start with circle prospecting and then move to paid advertising. Never do that at the detriment of your cadence on your sphere, because your sphere is going to be really where the return on investment is. Do it as an add-on, if that makes sense. So if you find that calling circle prospecting is limiting your reach, your outreach to your sphere, you've done something wrong. It should only be in an add-on to what you're doing for your sphere already. And so it's like you should have these 3 lead pillars humming, and that will give you the opportunity to be able to coach your agents up on what you need to coach them up on, which is conversion. How do you close at the appointment? How do you actually get the people to show up at the appointment? You should be spending your time coaching on conversion. And then ultimately, when you get conversion up and maybe you get a sales manager to do that, then you focus on the thing that matters the absolute most, which is client service. Like, how do we service our clients to create raving fans? So Gina, you have been amazing. Thank you for calling in. I hope you found this helpful. But let's friend up, and because I want to walk you through maybe offline Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that and help you out there.
Thank you so much for having me. I really had several aha moments that I'm going to implement right away.